So this is how you adjust the HF points on your 225X Primeweld TIG welder. I'm gonna do this somewhat quick because I know when I'm looking for information, I hate having to go through a bunch of shit to get to it. So we're just gonna make this informative, quick, and it's pretty simple from what I understand. So here we go. Make sure your main power is unplugged, and then there's capacitors in here that will hold a charge and a current and can shock the crap out of you. So be careful when you're going in there. To mitigate this a little bit, you can turn the breaker on while it's off. You know, it might help discharge them a little bit. It's best to wait 15 minutes after you unplug it with the breaker on, and just give yourself 15 minutes. Once you've had it off for 15 minutes, first thing you want to do is pull off the plastic guards, all these plastic guards here, and then this rail right here is independent piece halfway, then another one halfway. Same for the front. Everything's the same. So all you need is a screw gun with Phillips. These ones that are in the handle ends, they have to go through the handle bezel and then into the metal. So they really only go in like a 1/4 inch. So once you back them out a little 1/4 inch, they're gonna sit there and spin because there's no threads in the plastic piece to lift it out. You have to get a screwdriver and just kind of pry up just like a little bit while you unscrew. Then it'll kind of come out so you can get it. This handle plastic slides off this way, so you have to get these screws all the way out. Then it'll just slide off the end. And the handle's able to move back and forth freely, but leave it there because you can still use it to maneuver the machine. At this point, turn it on its side so that you can get the feet. The feet have 2 screws, one on the side, one on the foot. That completely frees the bezel. So put that aside. You don't really need to put the exact bezel that came off the back right back onto the back right. They're just stamped pieces. They'll work on any side. Same with the feet and the corner pieces. They'll only fit on one way, so there's really no need to categorize them as going back on the same way you took them off. Don't worry about it. Just pop them all off. These are the actual screws that hold the case on, these silver ones. I'm gonna go ahead and leave them on so I can still maneuver this thing just to get the feet off, because once you pull these off, then it makes this handle to where you can't maneuver the machine. So we're just going to continue getting the plastic pieces off real quick first. All the plastic pieces off, I'm going to set it back upright. And we'll start with this side. Just go ahead and pull all these silver screws out. Then you'll need to pull these 3 black ones out as well down here. Yeah, so I've already had this apart once, like I said, so when I put them back in, I used a screw gun, and I must have did it too tight, because now bringing these back out, I stripped 2 of them. I was able to get them out. Luckily, I'll have to replace the screws. But whenever you go to put this back together after we're all done, you can use a screw gun to get them going, but just don't tighten them down. I would tighten them down by hand, because I must have done it too hard. So before we get the other side, we've got the 2 on the top. You want to get those real quick. They're the 2 silver ones. There's one there, center. Just slide this handle back and forth to get access. See how hard that one was? That was cranked in there, man. My bad. Luckily they have a flathead on them, but the silver ones don't, so I had to use an impact to get those out. So just be really careful not to over tighten them. And with that being the last screw, you can now take the cover off. Just be careful. There is a ground that runs from the case to the other case. A 7mm works well. So you're just gonna lift it up a little bit, and you can see the ground there, here. So it may be pulled down like this, and which won't give you access to put a socket on there. Just push this up so that you can gain access to the nut. Pull that off. Put the nut back on so you don't lose it. And then you're ready to pull your case off. Okay, now once you got the case off, you're gonna locate the front again, and it's gonna be off to the right. About halfway back, halfway up. You, depending on the model, may or may not have a black plastic case on it. Mine has a black plastic case on it. It's right here. So you're gonna be want to very, very, very carefully just grab it. And you pull that off, and that'll expose your points. And that is the gap that you need to double check and make sure it is 0.030. So then you get your feeler gauges. You're looking for 30 thousandths. So 0.030. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now I got my 30 thousandth feeler gauge. Be careful while you're in here. These are the capacitors right here, but there's conductors and stuff everywhere. You know, I wouldn't just go too crazy in here, touching shit. Just be careful, you know. Mine are definitely loose. That's quite a bit over. I am gonna measure it just to see how far over it is. I'm gonna guess that it's probably maybe 15 thousandths over. Let's try 13 thousandths. So I'll put a 30 plus a 13 in there. See if it'll fit. It does not. I'll try a 10 along with the 30. So that will fit in. So it's at least 10 thousandths over. It's still pretty loose. So between 13 and 10. Okay, so I'm about anywhere from 11 to 12 thousandths over, putting me at 41, 42 thousandths total for my points. It came from the factory this way. I have been struggling with aluminum the whole time I've had this welder. I've never welded aluminum, so I didn't know any different. But when I switch over to DC to weld stainless or mild steel, no problem. I figured that out, you know, within reason for a new welder. So I went back after that to aluminum, thinking what I'd learned on the other metals on DC might apply a little bit when I go back to AC, and I could not get it to weld right. It's doing this to me. It's not striking a decent arc. It's still getting hot, but when I was going to weld this, the arc flash was spitting out 180 degrees from each other sideways. As I strike an arc, the arc would pop, and it would do it rapid, and it sounded like firecrackers, and it would fire out sideways the arc, and it would darken and pinhole the, you know, the material. And so everybody was telling me as my tungsten wasn't grinded right, that the material's not clean, the ground isn't correct, your ground wire is coiled, your electrode wire is mixed with the ground wire. You know, it's arc blow where the polarity is reversed. So take a, you know, another ground clamp and put it to the other side of the work. So I'm trying all these things and nothing's working. And I was thinking it was me, but it's this setting. So, and this is from the factory. So, I mean, great machine, super dope customer service. They're the ones who right away told me, try this real quick, you know, all this. And so I got no complaints. I know shit happens, but I wasted a lot of hours trying to learn aluminum. I'd never done it before. And so, you know, I'm thinking it's me. You know, some of the welds I actually got to weld. I don't know how, but they look like shit, but I welded them, you know. Anyways, let's get on to the adjustment. So it's got a set screw. So I had a very time getting a screwdriver in there, and it needs to be basically a full-size Phillips. Number 2 works well, but a full-size screwdriver wouldn't fit in there for me, so I found a tip for a drill and just put that there and gave it a little pressure against this bus bar here. Thank God it didn't shock me. Very well could have. You know, roll the dice, I guess. So I pushed in, and then you can grab the hexagon part and twist just to get this thing loose a little bit. It only takes a little bit. It was sticky. So I put a Phillips on it, gave it a tiny tap, popped it right closed. So now they're dead against each other. Now it's sliding around. So I know it's this front one with the easy access that slides, and this one's stationary. So shout out to Primeweld, because I didn't really feel like this was you know, I'm on my own here and just figure it out and shit. Like they've been really cool about it. So anywho, right now it's up all the way against each other. I'm just gonna back it off a little bit. Now it's super loose. So now I'm actually gonna tighten this back down a little bit to make it a little bit more stable, because I don't want it to be super loose. And plus, when I go to tighten it, I just want it to be a couple turns so that I don't lose my gap. I'm gonna put this 28 in there. Just gonna rest it. Just gonna drop it. So I dropped that on purpose. Different people do different shit. Don't question it. So I'm gonna let that rest. Gonna push this in. And it's a little stiffer now that I've got the screw tightened down a little bit, but it's reasonable. So that's pretty good. That's 28 there. So I'm gonna try to make it as square as I can so that the faces are square with each other. And I'm gonna tighten it down by hand and then by pliers. I don't think you need to go crazy with this, just a little tight, you know. It's got a spring wash, a split washer on it, so that should be 28. Let me try the 30. It should not fit. The 30 should not fit. Not gonna fit. Better not fit. Yep, no, we're good. Oh, just a tiny. So we're at 29-ish. I think that's fine. That's gonna be good. Yeah, the 28 fits in there snug. It can slide. We're at 29. I'm about a 29 thousandths, so I'm good with that. That's everything adjusted. Back together. I'll put my little plastic points cover back on. Also carefully, and then reassemble, and you're good. Real quick, wanted to mention to patch this into the end of the video here. When you go to put this back on, it can be a little confusing, but the silver ones that you pulled out, they'll have a bevel in the metal. That's how you can tell which ones they are. So the silver, and then the black machine screws go on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So there's 6 silvers and 3 machine screws, and then there's the 2 silver dead center on the tops. And then all the rest of these with the plastic bits, they're all the sort of wood screw looking broad thread kind of auger, whatever you want to call them. Then there are 10 of the black machine screws. That's 1, 2, 3. Same on the other side. It's 4, 5, 6. And then it's the 2 per side that go into the the trim for the handles. They get the black machine screws as well. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10. The feet are their own individual long screw. There's 4 of those, 1 for each of the bottom of the feet. Roll the outro. Hey, while I got you, don't just come here and hightail it, man. If you like automotive, fabrication, performance, check out my channel. I got a little 1.4 liter Sonic that I specifically bought because it's cheap, and I wanted to learn how to tune on it, and also didn't want to do an engine swap to get max horsepower. I want to see how much horsepower I could get out of 1.4 liter. I'm currently about to start it for the first time after a full engine rebuild and a custom turbo manifold and turbo build and everything that I did. And eventually it's going to be a compound turbo, trying to shoot for like 50 pounds of boost or 45 pounds of boost, see if this little engine can take it. It's a pretty good engine. That's the reason I feel like I can get away with it. But you know, check out my videos and come along for the ride. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully it was informative, quick, and if you're still here, what are you still doing here, man? Go weld some shit. Ooh. That is a nice arc. That is beautiful. Wow, what a difference that adjustment made for the HF. Wow. There you have it.